Want to know how to apply the perfect heat press? Watch this video. Hello there, Will here from WeFix Kits. In today's video, I'm going to be taking you through the process of applying a Nameset to a football shirt in the optimal way. So, I'm going to take you over to the heat press and take you through the kit and equipment that we need, and then I'll take you through it. Thank you. Today's video is sponsored by the experts over at fontfootball.com. My friend Bagas Wahyu from Indonesia is my go-to person for any fonts that I need creating for my Nameset. So please go and check them out, fontfootball.com. Okay, so what we need for today's video is a shirt that you want to have the Nameset pressed onto, a nice quality ruler, a permanent marker, fine tip permanent marker, a heat activated marker. So this is brilliant for marking the material, and any marks from the ink come off when the heat is applied to it. You can get water activated ones, so if you apply it, water will help it remove. But I find these a little messy, so you might want to steer clear of these and just use the heat sensitive one. And there'll be links to all of the items in the comments. A Nameset. This is a Sporting ID Nameset, and actually the good thing about it is it also has instructions, so the temperature, whether you do a hot peel or a cold peel, and the time and how firm the press needs to be. Again, Nameset for the front. Now this is a good ruler. You can get these on Amazon and eBay. They just help you find the center of a shirt. And what I've done on this one is I've put a line along here 6 centimeters from the bottom, and the reason for that will become apparent during the video. For some Namesets, people like them arched, others they like them flat. I personally prefer it flat. For this particular Nameset, it's already in an arc, so you won't need one of these, but if you have individual letters and you want to position them, then you would need one of these templates. Some heatproof tape. This is used to secure the Nameset in place, so before you press. A pressing mat. Make sure you get one that's large enough to cover the majority of the heat press bed. And some Teflon Sheet. This will help protect the material from the heat press. Some material goes a bit shiny if you apply heat to it, so this will offer some protection. So the first thing we're going to do, the heat press has been turned on. It needs to go to 145 degrees, and I know that because it says it in the instruction. So this heat press takes a little bit of time to warm up, so I've turned that on already and I'm letting that warm up. So the first thing we need to do is we need to put the shirt on the pressing pad. Using a pad just gives you a slightly better, I think, a slightly better finish, because you don't see any pressure marks on the front side of the shirt. So we put the mat inside the shirt, try to get it relatively central, and we'll put the shirt on the press bed. There you go, nice flat bottom. Now, with the Nameset, we need to find the middle. It's very important. It really helps with positioning to find the middle. Sometimes people just have a good eye and they like to just put it on, think, yeah, that looks good, Bob's your uncle. But personally, I'm a little bit OCD with the detail, so I like to know that I'm definitely finding the centre of both the shirt and of the Nameset. So, with the name, we're going to find the centre, finding the far outside edge on the left and on the right. So that's about 27 centimetres, about 27 centimetres wide. Now, you could use this to find the centre, but unfortunately it's not wide enough, so we're going to need to use a ruler. We find the outside. I'll tell you what you can do. Where the letters aren't, some letters have an outside point in the top right or in the bottom right. Others have the widest point in the middle. So what is a good thing to do is to just draw a straight line down the side so you know exactly where the outside edge is of the letter. Now make sure, so we're using the permanent marker, not the heat sensitive one, the permanent marker on the Nameset. Do not get these mixed up. I have in the past used the permanent marker on the shirt instead of the heat ink, and then you've got a nasty mark on the shirt. So don't be as silly as me. So we'll do that both sides. So we get the outside edge. Okay. So now we've got two lines that we can use a ruler just to find the middle. And the middle, so that's pretty much 27 centimetres. So that is 13.5 centimetres. So there's a little mark there for 13.5 centimetres. Now, what you can do with this one, because it's got right angled lines, you can make sure you're doing it straight by doing another line a bit further up. And there you go. You've now got a centre line. Can you see that? A centre line for the Nameset. So that's the name done. Let's do the same for the number. A bit easier with the number because it's a little bit narrower, so we can use this as a guide. So again, you position the guide so that you can see where the middle is now. Because it's a number 7, the middle is going to be bang on in the gap. So it's a relatively straightforward number to find the middle of, especially with this font. So you make 2 marks, and then you can join them up so that you can position. You really only need to draw over the gap rather than on the letter, because you just need to line up the line on the number with the line that we're going to draw on the shirt. So what I mean by that is, bear with me, let's draw another one just out the bottom. There we go. Right. So what I mean by that is, rather than drawing a line through there, which you can if you want, you're not going to get to see it when you position it on the shirt. So this is the line, and then you've got one at the bottom, just so that we know we can position it all the way through. So the next thing we need to do is find the centre of the shirt. And this is where this will come really handy. Now, for some shirts, where they've got, like this particular shirt, it'll be slightly easier because it's got straight lines going down, and you can use those as a kind of guide and what have you. Others will have a detail on the back there, like a date or a gun for the Arsenal shirts, or I think the date for the Newcastle shirts, or the Hammers, or what have you. And so you can go based on the middle of that symbol. This shirt hasn't got either of those, so we're going to use this, which has set them up there in a kind of collar shape, to find the middle on the inside, if there is one, and see that will typically be centered as well. So I think we're about right. You position the shoulders and the guide. Let's look in the middle. That looks good to me. So do a little mark at the top, little mark at the bottom, just to see. Now we have a look on the inside of the shirt and just make sure. Yeah, that looks good to me. That looks like it's on the middle of the shirt. You can hold it up. Make sure you're happy with it with your eye. I think that's all right. So now we've got the 2 dots. We're going to draw the line down. So we get a centre line going through the whole of the shirt. Again, like I say, make sure you use the right pen. Otherwise, you will get a thundering great permanent marker line through the shirt. So you're going to draw it all the way down because you want it to extend past the bottom of the number so that you know that the number is not only centered, but also straight. So I think that's probably fine. So there's a straight line going down the middle there. Now what we're going to do is, remember I said about 6 centimetre line. The Premier League spacing is 6 centimetres from the collar to the top of the name, then 6 centimetres from the bottom of the name to the top of the number. You don't have to do it like that. I've seen people have a smaller gap, I've seen people have a wider gap. Personally, again, it's my OCD, I like the even spacing. So I'm going to stick with the 6 centimetre ruling. It doesn't have to be that. You do it based on your preference. So I'm going to line up the line that I've drawn with the centre line on the marker, on the ruler. And I'm going to draw a line across. So now I have a line against which I can position the letters. So there's a line along there. You might not be able to see it, but believe me, there's a line there. Now I'm going to take the name set and position the centre line that's in the name set to run along the centre line of the line that I've drawn on the shirt. And there we have it. So now I need a bit of tape. So I use my heat-proof tape to tape the corners of the name set to hold it in place. Not everyone does this, but again, I just I like to know things aren't going to move, and I remove the heat press and have a nasty shot. I'd rather avoid that. So there we go, that's positioned and it's securely down. Next, we need to get the number. Here's the number. We need to position the top of the number 6 centimetres down from the bottom of the letter. So that's the bottom of the letter directly above, rather than the bottom of the letters to the side. Otherwise, the gap will look too big. So we position the centre line of the ruler along the centre line of the shirt, and we draw another line across. So there's a line across. We're done with this pen now. We're going to position the number 7. So the top of the number 7 goes along the line that we've drawn, and the centre point of the 7 matches up with the vertical line that we've drawn, and the bottom part of the 7 lines up with the bottom of the line that we drew through the shirt. So that's why we need to extend the line all the way down past here. So let's tape that down. So that is securely taped down. And you can have a quick look with your eye and make sure you think it looks nice. Personally, I think that looks pretty good. So with the Teflon sheet, you now need to place that over the name set and the shirt, because really it's to protect the fabric of the shirt from the heat press. So let's position that over it. Let's see, is that it's up to heat now? Perfect timing. So the instructions are 145 degrees Celsius, so it's set to that. You've got a firm pressure, but that's fine. You can adjust the pressure on the heat press to accommodate it, but most of the ones I do are just firm. I don't tend to adjust the pressure too much. Time is 15 seconds, so you plug that into the heat press and you do a cold peel. So you need to let it cool down after you've pressed. Now, some vinyl and flock says a warm or a hot peel, and that's fine, but for this particular one, which is the Sporting ID official name set, the England shirts, you need a cold peel. So, put it round, and we're going to press it. Give that 15 seconds, and it'll give me a beep. There we go. So, turn the heat press off now. Be careful because it gets very hot. This Teflon will be very hot now. So let's just peel that away and let this cool down, and we'll be back in a couple of minutes to do the peel. Okay, so we're back. We've given it about 4 or 5 minutes to cool down. Now we're going to do the peel. So let's start with the name. So you can peel the tape off. Just grab the corner and then just pull the tape off and just peel it back. There we go. Nice. There we go. Now you won't be able to see necessarily, but the lines that we drew from the heat sensitive ink have disappeared. So let's peel the 7 off as well. And there we have it. Perfectly positioned Nameset. Hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comments below. And thank you for watching.